Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back in Hungary at the Hungaroring. It is time for the second race of this weekend of the Eastern European TCR. It is the round 2 of the 2023 championship. We had the race number 1 yesterday, and that was pretty dramatic because we had all the Yannick Motorsports Hyundai Elantras on the first 3 spots on the grid, but none of them actually finished on the podium, and it was the debuting Milan Vukovic from Vukovic Motorsport in his Renault Megane RS who scored a momentous victory. So it was all put on its head yesterday in the race, and now to sprinkle even more chaos into the order, we are reversing a certain number of positions, and it is actually 7. So yesterday's 7th place finishing Sebastian Steibel is now on pole position. We have him in the first spot, so let's see what he thinks before the race. He actually wasn't even going to start from pole position yesterday because he actually finished 8th, but there was one penalty that made him basically promoted him to 7th. And Sebastian, you scored 7th in yesterday's race, and now you are on pole. So what is your view before the race?
Well, I want to do the best of it. I hope I can run for it and keep the other drivers behind me.
Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy your race. We are still missing Petr Čížek on the front row, so they are still getting ready. Let's keep walking further back because we have got the Yannick Motorsport Elantras a little further back on row number 2, and it is Adam Kout as the best placed man of the Czech team. Adam, hi. It was a clean sweep in qualifying for your team yesterday, but the race didn't go as planned. So what is your plan for today?
So the main plan is to make a better start than yesterday, because that was the main problem for me. I have to go wide and outside, and a lot of people overtook me. So I try to make it better today, and I hope that we can make more points than yesterday.
Okay, best of luck for the race, Adam. And alongside Adam Kout, of course, yesterday's pole sitter and also the championship leader, Maťo Homola. Let's see if we can still squeeze a very quick word with Maťo. Maťo, hi. You have got a good car under your hands, but yesterday didn't go as planned. So how about today?
Well, let's try to have a better start than yesterday. It was the biggest problem on yesterday's race. And also, yeah, be in front of Renault, because it's absolutely fast on the straights, and it's frustrating, but yeah, we'll focus on ourselves and try to have a good start and a good race.
Okay, best of luck for the race. That's Maťo Homola. And we have got David Kajaja in the Mertl Motorsport Honda Civic on row number 3. Sorry, row number 3, and alongside his teammate René Kircher. So yesterday's fast starting Hondas still with a good view for the race start. And the drivers are off for the formation lap before the race number 2 of the Eastern European TCR. It is Sebastian Steibl on pole position. It is not the first time that he is starting the race this far ahead, but he is still waiting for his breakthrough result in the Eastern European TCR. But now he has got the latest generation RS3 LMS Audi, the TCR spec, and he's starting from pole. Alongside him he has got Petr Čížek in the Express Auto racing team and in the Cupra Leon. Petr Čížek also the one driver that is hoping for his first victory in the Eastern European TCR. He is starting from the front row, but these two drivers are not going to get it just for free, and they do not have anything for granted, because of course they will have Hungary Hyundais right on their tails. And if you were watching the race together with us yesterday, you do remember that all three Yannick Motorsport cars were very well placed for a brilliant result. They were 1, 2, 3 on the grid, but then there was a little bit of a chaos in the first corner, and all three of them actually dropped down the order, and none of them actually then finished on the podium. So they will be hungry for more right now, because the qualifying promised a good performance and good results, but the race one didn't really bring it. So not only Adam Kout but also Matthew Homala will be hoping to get it now on Sunday morning. But right behind them we have got further hungry drivers, and it is David Kajaya and René Kircher. These two were also extremely fast starting yesterday, and they put the good getaway of their Honda Civics to a good use in yesterday's race, as they emerged first and third on the opening lap. But then both of the drivers actually finished on the podium. René Kircher was beaten in the race by the up-and-coming youngster Milan Vukovic. Last year Milan Vukovic was here in Hungary racing in the Renault Twingo Cup, and then he tasted the Renault Megane TCR in Poland, in Poznań, and he liked it so much that he came back in the team of his dad and really gave it a proper run for its money, and he actually scored a beautiful victory in yesterday's race. He will be joined on the fourth row by Giacomo Germandi, the Italian that is always there up for good results. And to top off the top 10 we have got Philipp Dietrich in 9th and Carlo Ceppiel in 10th. Another driver who will definitely be hoping for way more. He was on the front row yesterday, but then the bad luck came in the first corner. He got even clipped and collected in one of the clashes there, and he even dropped out of the top 10, had to return back into it, and he now starts P10, so he will definitely be trying to replicate that similar sort of result that he got from the opening round in Germany, where he on his debut scored a victory in race number 2. Tobias Poschik in 11th in the previous generation Audi RS3, alongside him Petr Fulin Jr. in the first of the two Fulin Race Academy Cupras. His teammate Karol Wittke following closely in 13th. Alongside him on row number 7 it is Žarko Knego in another Cupra Leon, the current generation. Then we've got Sebastian Kolakovsky, Ivar Svalers, Radim Adamek, Vít Smejkal, Adam Řepecký, and Milenko Vukovic, who was actually disqualified from yesterday's race, having finished 4th on the road because his car did not comply with the technical regulations as stated the officials after the car's scrutineering. And we are also happy to report that Adam Řepecký is back on the grid after yesterday's big crash, so the car did manage to be repaired, and the driver is of course fine. Now the red lights are on and the red lights are off, and we are racing here in Hungary. There are multiple stallers on the grid, both of the Fulin Academy Cupras. That was chaos on the start, but Sebastian Steibl is safely into the lead after starting from pole position. But Petr Čížek is dropping down the order, but we have got Adam Kout fast starting and into the race lead. but Maťo Homola has dropped a couple of places. There is one of the Honda Civics of Mertl Motorsport off the track in the first corner, and it is now the Hyundai Elantra in the Yannick Motorsport colours leading the race from Sebastian Steibel. And then there are the both Civics of Mertl Motorsport, Petr Čížek dropping down to 5th. Then we've got Germandi up into 6th position. Being attacked now by presumably Maťo Homola. There is a big fight down the inside, but Steibel trying to come back to first place. But look at, is it René Kircher cutting the chicane there? He was trying to go sideways, well, alongside the race leaders, but then not enough space was left for him, so he had to cut the chicane to avoid further contact. So it is Adam Colt leading the race, and it is now the car number 9, David Kajaya, actually up front in 2nd, Sebastian Steibel in 3rd. We have got René Kircher in 4th, Petr Čížek in 5th place. Behind him it is Maťo Homola, who dropped down the order after the start, so an unlucky getaway for him in this race as well. He's now making places as he is now getting ahead of Petr Čížek. He's being forced wide and now overtaken by Giacomo Germandi. We have also got Carlo Cepiel moving up the order, Milan Vukovic following him closely, and his dad Milenko Vukovic now into the top 10 as well. There is I believe Filip Dietrich in P9 right now. So all the crazy stuff going on here. This is Milan Vukovic taking a huge fight, or this is Milenko Vukovic actually taking a fight to Carlo Cepiel. Car number 32, that's the Hyundai Elantra of the young Polish driver. Behind him Milenko Vukovic. It is all mixed up really after the first lap. Petr Čížek running around the outside of Giacomo Germandi. They did have a big crash together 2 years back in Slovakia. But now Germandi is through. So Adam Colt leading. He is the one out of the Yannick Motorsport trio, still waiting for his first win of 2023. Maťo Homola and Carlo Cepiel scored their first triumphs the last time out in Germany. It was then bad luck in race number 1 for Yannick Motorsport and the victory for Milan Vukovic yesterday. But now it is Adam Colt leading the race from David Kajaya, Steibel 3rd, Kircher 4th, Homola 5th. Germandi, Čížek and Carlo Cepiel. And look at that, this is already René Kircher attacking Sebastian Steibel and coming through down the inside. Maťo Homola trying to follow suit. He is now running around the German, around the outside of the penultimate corner, but he is forced wide. There is still room down the inside and he's going for it with all of his experience. Maťo Homola not wasting any more time, and up into 4th he goes. There is Petr Čížek already in the fight with Carlo Cepiel. And there is a problem on the car of Maťo Homola. Presumably it looks like a piece of bodywork has come loose and it is rubbing against one of the tires. That's definitely not going to be nice for him. And we just have to wait and see if that car is able to hold on, or if there is even a black and orange flag from the marshals. It looks like the whole door panel, the door trim along the whole left-hand side is now loose and flapping around. It is actually a pretty big piece, so this should rather be taken seriously, I guess. There you see. The longitudinal door trim flapping around. Let's say hanging off Maťo Homola's car. just cornering so flat out, cutting as many curbs as they can, even kicking the dust up in the air as they put wheels beyond the curb onto the grass. Just really try with the TCR car to make your track as straight as possible, and curb cutting, that is something that is being done absolutely massively in this championship. So Coat leading, he's also holding the fastest lap of the race from the previous lap. What is he going to be able to do this time out? He improves on it even further still, but he is beaten to it by René Kircher. 155.1 by Coat, 55.3 by Kajaya, and 54.8 by René Kircher. Further fights further down the field. That is Milenko Vukovic, the car number 75, on the move. He is now having a fight with Žarko Knego. And there is Tobias Pošík, last year's Clio Cup champion, on the move. He decided not to hang around and not to wait any further. And he sort of scared Žarko Knego away out of that corner. He appeared so abruptly in his rearview mirrors that Žarko had no other chance but to simply jump away. And I do see Adam Řepecký in the pits. So even the second race is ending prematurely for the Polish driver. He had a big shunt yesterday that ended the race sooner with red flags. So he's got a completely new front end today, and the black bumper not really matching the rest of the livery, but at least he could be taking part in the race, but now he seems to be out of it. So Adam Coat leading from David Kajaya and René Kircher, both of the Mertl Motorsport cars on the podium places yet again. So a great weekend for the team here in Hungary. They acquired their cars from Team Engstler, one of the most experienced racing teams in the world of TCRs, and Žarko Knego tried to fight back with Tobias Pošík, but he was closing the door on him, and yeah, sort of a typical miscommunication in that corner between the drivers. Tobias Pošík was simply cutting back onto the inside, hoping that Žarko would be cut off, but the Croatian had a different view on the situation, and he just thought that the door would remain open for him to stay alongside, but that was not true. And look at that, more smoke pouring off the Elantra of Maťo Homola. That door panel is definitely coming into contact, and it's not just that door panel, I believe. There is further piece of bodywork rubbing against the front left tire, which is definitely not healthy for the tire itself. And Maťo Homola might now be on the road to a very sudden puncture. In the meantime, he's still going on, and actually his times aren't even bad. So far they aren't even affected. So he did 155.3 the last time out, which is sort of on par with the race leaders. They were doing 155.0, 155.2, and so on. So Maťo Homola still not losing any pace through this inconvenience. Sebastian Steibel remaining in close succession, and waiting if there is anything to be up for grabs. Further fights further back. That is Milan Vukovic together with Giacomo Germandi. Milan Vukovic making his way through on the Audi. The Megans are incredibly fast down the straights. Their top speed is absolutely blinding. Milan Vukovic made the best use for that yesterday. He started 6th, but he found himself 2nd after the first corner, and then dealt with René Kircher to rob him of the first place, and scored his first victory in the Eastern European TCR, and actually in the TCR world overall. So it seems that he got used to it pretty fast, that his car, now that his Renault this year has way more pounds and way more oomph. Ooh, and there's a crash. There's Carlo Cepiel and Giacomo Germandi. They are ending up together off the track, and it appears to me that the front left corner of Cepiel's car is not only punctured, but maybe there is even suspension damage. Cepiel is off, and he'll be just crawling back to the pits. Unfortunately for him, that happened halfway through the lap, so still half of the lap to go for him before he reaches the pit lane, and that is a massive blow for any of his chances. So this is a weekend to forget for the young Pole, who scored his first victory at Oschersleben. The Hungarian round is panning out way worse for him. And these are the two Mertl Motorsport Hondas running together in a close succession. Valers here in the fight with Peter Fulin Jr. That's a scrap for 13th, currently in the race. And Carlo Cepiel is now in the pits with the problems on the front left, and unfortunately he might soon be joined by his teammate with a problem with his front left. But Mathieu Homola in the meantime is still going on, still going strong. And there you have the two Hondas. What a weekend for Mertl Motorsport. Yes, they are waiting for their first victory, but they did finish 2nd and 3rd yesterday. Now they're running 2nd and 3rd once again. This time it is David Kajaya up front from René Kircher. René Kircher, the 22-year-old youngster from Germany, from Hünfeld. He's been racing since 2018. Up until then he did karting. He's already had a go on multiple TCR championships. Mostly he did the ADAC TCR Germany. Well, basically only TCR Germany, I'm sorry. And yeah, together he is in the TCR Eastern Europe. Before that he started the car racing career in Renault Clio Cup. Cepiel is back on the move after repairs, so luckily for him that was no suspension damage, only puncture after that contact with Giacomo Germandi. David Kajaya in the meantime, that's a way more experienced driver, 39-year-old Georgian from Tbilisi. He did the BMW M2 Cup, he did European touring cars, he did the TCR in the Middle East, he did the International Series way back then, where he also raced against Petr Fulin, when Petrofulin was developing the Alfa Romeo Giulietta back then. Kajaya also did the Touring Car Cup, the European Touring Car Cup for the Team Engstler in 2015, which he won. So a lot of experience in his hands. Meanwhile, Milan Vukovic has caught up with Sebastian Steibl, and thus we have a fight on our hands for 5th place. Vukovic is already having a look down the inside. Steibl makes a mistake. He has allowed Milan, well, through, and actually also allowed Milan to force him into a mistake. So he tried to cover off for the young Swiss, but then sort of outbraked himself and left the door wide open down the inside, and that was then quite easy for Milan to capitalize on that. Fights between Germandi and Furin. Germandi lost a lot of ground in this race as well. He had that contact with Chepiel, but I'm actually thinking back about it. I'm not entirely sure whether that was actually a contact between the two, or there was simply a puncture on the car of Carlo Chepiel that sort of sent him straight ahead, and because Germandi was alongside him, he had nowhere else to go other than off the track as well. But look at this, Petrofulin outbrakes himself because that was a chaotic reaction a little bit. I believe that Germandi stepped on the brakes sooner than Petrofulin was expecting him to do. But look at this, the brakes on Germandi's car don't really look in a good shape. So that car is sort of going very weirdly and sideways in all of the braking zone. Look at what it's doing. Look at the Audi. It's just skating around the track. It's like it's got a suspension failure on the rear axle. What is going on? Look, yeah, the right rear wheel is definitely pointing in a different direction. That is very weird, yes. And that sort of made Germandi's car dancing into the first corner. That's why Petrofulin had to swerve violently down to the inside to avoid him and not collect him. And that compromised his own braking. He locked the tires then, and well, luckily for him, he had plenty of room then to collect everything, which he did, but now finds himself back behind Germandi. But Germandi's car, if you remember Skoda 1203, that's what it looks like right now. Sort of, yeah. If this was running in the snow, it would actually, you would not see 2 tracks but 4. So it's a 4-track vehicle right now. But I believe that Germandi must be directed to come into the pits. This is absolutely dangerous. That right rear is not okay, and he must be feeling that, because the car is absolutely dancing in his hands under braking. It's just, it's not going in a straight line. Giacomo Germandi cutting the chicane because his car is absolutely not in the shape to even make it, and he's now making it so crazy for Petr Fulin. Petr Fulin would love to get ahead of him, not only because he wants one more position, but because this is simply extremely dangerous for himself. He absolutely can't have a single idea of what the Audi up front is going to do in the next second. Look, the Audi is simply going sideways, which now makes me think that there probably was a contact between him and Carlo Cepiel. Ivar Svalers, he tidies his Audi off the track cleanly for the other Fulin Race Academy Cupra, Fulin Race Team Cupra to go through. That is Karol Wittke, returning back to the series this year. But on we go. Look at that, look at that. And you just never know where the car is going. This must be driving Petr Fulin absolutely crazy. It's just, even underbraking on the acceleration, you do not know what is going to happen. There was a contact now, and Petr Fulin can only hope that Germandi is not going to collect him. Now he's through, and yeah, the best measure for it is simply now to run away. Run away before that thing hits you. It's like it's possessed. It's just even, yeah, it's got, yeah, the right rear wheel it's failed, and now there's more contact. Petr Fulin was off the track. Oh my goodness. So now there's even damage. It appears only on the bodywork of Fulin's car. That's where Germandi now hit him. But Germandi miraculously is back through. We have now got about 2 minutes left in the race, but seriously, this is dangerous. I believe that a black and orange flag needs to be shown to car number 3, because if the suspension fails at speed, we are about to see a horrendous accident. And we did see one yesterday, actually. It was a suspension failure that sent Adam Rzepecki into the wall in the first corner, and that was a nasty, nasty shunt. So we just have to hope that the same thing doesn't happen to Germandi. Either way, we are now back up front because the Hondas are trying to catch back with Adam Coat, and they are doing so. Because on the previous lap, Coat did 156.4, Kajaya 56.0, Gerecher 56.2. And there's only 1.1 second difference between the two now. Well, between Coat and Kajaya. So the Hondas are now chasing the Hyundai. I believe we should be good enough. Unfortunately, we do not see the timing screen, but on the start and finish straight, we've got the remaining 4, 3, 2, 1 second. So that's it, and Adam Coat is now finding himself in the last corner of the race. So both of his teammates have already won. Now it is his time for glory. Adam Coat wins on his return to the series. It's the second weekend after his return, and he is scoring his first victory of 2023. All three of the Yannick Motorsport Elantras have now got a triumph to their name. So it was Matteo Homola and Carlo Cepiel the last time out in Germany. Now it is Adam Coat, and there is the fight. Firstly with the car itself, but Giacomo Germandi makes it home, and he finishes 12th on the road. right in front of both full-in race cars. But what a race it was. It was, again, wasn't short for drama, that is for sure. Adam Coate is the fourth different winner out of first four races of 2023. So it's really, really, really dramatic right now. And we've still got 4 more rounds to go. That means 8 more races in 2023. David Kajaya comes home second, René Kircher in third. So it is another double podium for Mertel Motorsport, but it's not a victory. The Civics have run absolutely faultlessly and yeah, reliably and also quickly. So it's only gonna come, and it is actually coming right now, because I'm getting an information that Adam Coate has received a 10-second penalty. So he is now dropping down to 4th. So it is not his first victory of the season. And that means that it is a double victory. It's a 1-2 for Mertel Motorsport now. So David Kajaya is actually victorious here in Hungary from René Kircher, and Mathieu Homola is promoted up to 3rd. Adam Coate dropping down to 4th. Milan Vukovic comes home 5th, so yet another strong result for the young Swiss driver. Sebastian Steibl comes home 6th. From 7th placed Petr Čížek, Milenko Vukovic in 8th, Filip Dietrich in 9th, and Tobias Pošík completing the top 10. Behind we have got Žarko Knego, Giacomo Germandi, Petr Fulín Jr., Karol Wittke, Ivar Zvalers, Radim Adámek, Vít Smejkal, Sebastian Kolakovsky, Karlo Čepiel, and Adam Řepecký, the only retiring car. So in the end, it is a victory for Mertel Motorsport here in Hungary. They went 2nd and 3rd yesterday. Now they're going 1 better, and it's 1st and 2nd for them. Yes, with a help of a penalty, but that is motorsport. That is what counts as well. And I'm pretty sure that both of the drivers are going to accept their 1 better trophies. So it is, but David Kajaya is also demoted now. Further penalties might be applied. I'm just watching the live timing screen now, and René Kircher has now gone to the 1st place, in front of David Kajaya actually. Mathieu Homola is now 3rd, Adam Coate 4th, Milan Vukovic 5th. Sebastian Steibl is dropped down to 10th, so Petr Čížek coming up to 6th. Milenko Vukovic 7th, Filip Dietrich 8th, Tobias Pošík 9th, and Sebastian Steibl 10th. You know what? There are penalties applied all around the place. So, yeah, we now have to make do without the graphics, actually, because it's a little bit of a chaos. We now have to figure out what happened there and what were the reasons for each penalty. So we'll come back to you with that a little later on. Either way, we now have a break to make, if I'm not mistaken, because... yeah, there is a further qualifying coming up. Yep, and that means that we will be back around noon for the 2nd of the trio of Suzuki Swift Cup races. Thank you very much for watching. I believe that the TCR race was again a great invitation for you to stay on and keep watching. It's been a beautiful race. We still have a lot more to come. We've got the Suzuki Swift Cup races, both of them actually, well, 2nd and 3rd. We've got the Renault Clio Cup race, we've got the GT Sprint, we've got pretty much everything still to be looking forward to. So make sure that you come back around noon and keep watching with us, because it's been an amazing ride together with you. My name is Pavel Fabri, I'm your commentator for the weekend, and we will be back very soon.